Gonna go on the song and say, verbatim, you still hang with them that done got your partner whacked? Okay. So you got 21 Savage on your album, and then 21 Savage get on the album and say, get him smacked, then turn around and give his brother down. So he dissing your partner on your album. Probably said it in the studio with you.
I got Wham and Savage on the phone to stop whatever could have happened with them. I got niggas on the phone.
Imagine this scenario. Your closest friend, the person who has been with you since the beginning, is murdered execution style on the interstate. You later discover that someone you considered a peer and friend in the music industry was allegedly involved in the plot. That's the heavy drama that unfolded between Lil Baby and 21 Savage surrounding the murder of Marlo, and the streets have never stopped talking about it. Today, we are dissecting the claims that 21 Savage orchestrated the hit on Lil Baby's lifelong best friend, examining the motive behind Marlo's killing, and revealing how Young Thug had to intervene to stop Atlanta from turning into a full-blown war zone. Make sure you stick around for the whole video, because this narrative goes far deeper than what is publicly known. I'm about to expose some serious street politics that will undoubtedly shock you. Let me quickly give you the background on how inseparable Baby and Marlo actually were. These two weren't just simple collaborators or industry acquaintances. They were genuinely brothers who grew up side by side in the trenches. Both were raised in Bankhead, which is one of Atlanta's most infamous districts, and they shared that rare day one type of bond that is hard to find in the music business. When they both signed to Quality Control around the same time, it looked like they were destined to achieve massive success together. But here is the tragic turn in the story. While Baby's career ascended rapidly, Marlo's music never achieved the same level of mainstream success. According to Quality Control CEO P, because Marlo's rap career wasn't generating the immense wealth that Baby was bringing in, he remained heavily involved in the streets, desperately trying to maintain his friend's lavish lifestyle. Baby went to extreme lengths to help his friend succeed. He secured him a record deal, kept him booked in the studio for hours, featured him on tracks, and constantly urged Marlo to prioritize his music career over his illegal street activities. In interviews, it was clear just how much Baby genuinely believed in Marlo's talent and wanted him to find a legitimate way out of the hood. But Marlo maintained his stubborn commitment to the streets. Even with a major record deal and the full support of Lil Baby, he was still reportedly moving narcotics and handling other various illegal business ventures in Bankhead. That unwavering loyalty to his old life, despite having an exit strategy, is what ultimately led to his downfall and set the stage for the conflict with 21 Savage. Now, let me tell you something about Marlo that most casual listeners don't grasp. This wasn't just a rapper attempting to project a tough image for the cameras or create a fictional persona. Marlo was the real deal in Bankhead and commanded immense respect in the streets long before he ever recorded a song. Marlo was tied to PFK, known as Play for Keeps, also called 3L, which had known connections to the Goodfellas mob. He wasn't just moving drugs. According to street sources, he was allegedly handling other types of enforcement and business for his crew. The word circulating on the street is that Marlo had been involved in the elimination of individuals who either double-crossed him or disrespected his operation. One of the most critical incidents that placed him directly on 21 Savage's hit list was the alleged murder of a figure known as Capo Nuke. Now, Nuke was not a nobody in these circles. He was a high-ranking member of the Goodfellas mob who had recently returned home after serving significant prison time. Nuke was respected, feared, and had serious connections to the 4L crew that 21 Savage is affiliated with. The story claims that Nuke was allegedly involved romantically with Marlo's baby mama, and Marlo simply refused to tolerate that level of disrespect. So, allegedly, Marlo ordered the hit and had Nuke eliminated. That precise move was what sealed Marlo's fate, because Nuke had deep connections to 21 Savage's inner circle, and his death could not go unavenged in the streets. To truly grasp how this deadly ambush was carried out, you need to be familiar with Baby Drill. His birth name is Del Cristo Wilson, and this young man was aggressively trying to establish a reputation for himself in both the streets and the rap world. Baby Drill was a part of 21 Savage's 4L crew and was known for actively putting in work. Baby Drill was raised within the structure that 21 Savage created with 4L. He was one of those young, fiercely loyal soldiers who would do anything to prove his worth to the more senior members of the crew. When 21 Savage allegedly placed that bounty on Marlo's head, Baby Drill viewed it as his golden opportunity to earn major respect and ascend quickly through the ranks. What makes Baby Drill's story even more bizarre is how he allegedly used the murder to accelerate his rap career. Following Marlo's death, Drill began releasing music where he seemed to openly brag about carrying out the hit. In songs like 32 Freestyle and collaborations with Young Nudie, he would reference taking down the biggest rival when he was just 17. A clear reference to Marlo. The streets have alleged that on July 11, 2020, as Marlo was leaving the Bankhead reunion event, Baby Drill and his crew pursued him onto I-285 and unleashed a barrage of gunfire on his vehicle. Marlo's car crashed, and he died at the scene. What's particularly wild is that Baby Drill was later arrested on murder charges in a completely separate case, confirming that this was not his only alleged kill. To fully understand 21 Savage's motive for wanting Marlo dead, you must first understand the complicated gang politics that dominate Atlanta. 21 Savage is affiliated with 4L, which includes his personal crew Slaughter Gang and has ties to various blood sets throughout the city. Marlo was associated with PFK, also known as 3L, which was linked to the Goodfellas mob. These crews were actually amicable with each other at one point. In fact, there is old video footage of 21 Savage and Marlo together in the 9th Ward, smiling and showing mutual respect. They were making money together and appeared to operate on good terms. But when Marlo allegedly arranged for Capo Nuke to be killed, that changed the entire dynamic overnight. Nuke commanded serious respect in the streets and had deep connections to 21's people, meaning his murder demanded a response. The beef rapidly intensified as 4L members began aggressively attacking PFK, following Nuke's murder chain snatchings, armed robberies, and shootings. The younger members of 4L were applying intense pressure on anyone connected to 3L. One of the most notable casualties in this escalating conflict was Mad Rock, an 18-year-old 4L member who was known for putting in work. Mad Rock was killed in a drive-by shooting, and the streets immediately blamed PFK for the retaliatory attack. This cycle of violence created a situation that could only be resolved by eliminating major players. This is where 21 Savage truly exposed his character and how petty this whole feud became. Not only did he allegedly order Marlo's murder, but he had the audacity to insult him on Lil Baby's own album. On their collaborative track, 21 Savage included lines that were clearly aimed at Marlo, essentially mocking Baby while he was still mourning the loss of his best friend. The fact that 21 Savage felt secure enough to disrespect a dead man on his friend's project shows how confident he was that Baby would not retaliate. It was essentially a direct challenge to Baby's street credibility, testing whether he would stand up for his dead friend or simply let the matter drop for the sake of industry relationships. This action was particularly callous because Baby was still grappling with the profound grief of losing his best friend. And here was 21 Savage seemingly celebrating it on Baby's own music project. It's the kind of blatant disrespect that would typically result in immediate retaliation in the streets. But the complicated nature of industry politics interfered with everything. Now, try to imagine being Lil Baby and slowly realizing that someone you considered a friend within the music business had your day one friend executed. According to sources close to the situation, Baby was utterly devastated when he discovered 21 Savage's alleged involvement. The streets say Baby was ready to start a war immediately. He was determined to retaliate against 21 Savage and the entire 4L crew. But this is precisely where the industry politics complicated matters, as both artists were generating massive income and were backed by major record labels. What truly stung Baby was the realization that 21 Savage had been deceitful the entire time. They were recording music together, attending public events side by side. Yet all the while, 21 Savage allegedly knew exactly what happened to Marlo, because he supposedly gave the order. Young Thug has always prioritized maintaining unity within Atlanta's music community. In past interviews, he has spoken about how he has personally intervened to stop numerous beefs from escalating in the city because he understands that when Atlanta artists fight amongst themselves, everyone's financial well-being suffers. When Thug learned about the serious tension brewing between Baby and 21 Savage, he immediately knew he had to step in before the situation spun completely out of control. This was not just a disagreement between two artists. This was on the verge of becoming a full-blown street war between major rival crews in Atlanta. Thug organized a three-way phone call with both Baby and 21 Savage, and essentially told them they were now bigger than street feuds. He reminded them that Atlanta artists are supposed to stand together, and that the rest of the world looks at Atlanta as the city where rappers support rather than destroy one another. According to Thug's own recollection, he told them, "Man, y'all are brothers. We aren't talking about internet drama or what's happening in the news. We are talking about real life. Both of you can go on any platform and state the exact same thing, that I got both of you on the phone and told you to end this." Even though Thug managed to get them to publicly agree to squash the beef, the people on the street knew the truth of what had transpired. That is likely why Gunna felt confident enough to directly challenge Baby in his music later on. In one of his songs, Gunna essentially exposed the whole situation by making a reference to Baby still associating with someone who had gotten his partner killed. That line resonated deeply because it validated what everyone in the streets already suspected, that Baby was still maintaining a relationship with 21 Savage despite knowing he was allegedly connected to Marlo's death. The fact that Baby deleted his Instagram post about Marlo mere minutes after uploading it also raised major red flags. People began questioning whether Baby was truly committed to that life or if he was simply going to allow his best friend's murder to slide for the sake of his career and his industry connections. One of the most damning indicators that something fundamental shifted after the Marlo situation is how Baby ceased acknowledging his deceased friend publicly. Before this truth came to light, Baby would consistently post tributes to Marlo on his birthday, his death anniversary, and other significant dates. He would share nostalgic memories, old pictures, and ensure Marlo's name remained relevant on social media. But after the details of 21 Savage's alleged involvement surfaced, Baby completely stopped posting anything about Marlo. No more birthday tributes, no more anniversary remembrances, nothing at all. It is as if Marlo simply vanished from Baby's public memory, which is shocking considering the closeness of their bond. This noticeable change in behavior did not escape the attention of those in the streets or Marlo's surviving family and friends. People started questioning whether Baby genuinely cared about securing justice for his friend, or if his primary concern was preserving his industry relationships and keeping his revenue stream flowing smoothly. What makes this situation even more intricate is how clearly it exposed the harsh political reality of Atlanta's rap scene. You have successful artists who are earning millions but are still tightly bound to street crews that are actively at war with each other. The music industry and the streets are so closely intertwined that these beefs can literally cost lives. But often, money speaks louder than loyalty. Chris Jeremiah and other street commentators have pointed out that this situation significantly damaged Baby's credibility in the streets. How can you confidently rap about being a gangster and remaining loyal when you're associating with the people who killed your best friend? That was the prevailing question being asked by many people in Atlanta. The overwhelming industry pressure to maintain relationships and ensure the continuous flow of money often trumps the demand for street justice. Record labels, managers, and business partners all have vested interests in keeping their artists out of violent disputes because violence is detrimental to business. So even when someone is ready for retaliation, millions of dollars and multiple careers hang in the balance. Ultimately, this story serves as a painful account of loyalty, profound betrayal, and the heavy price of maintaining ties to the streets while trying to achieve success in the music industry. Lil Baby lost his best friend, allegedly at the hands of someone he considered an industry friend. 21 Savage allegedly ordered the hit through his young associate Baby Drill, and then had the sheer nerve to insult the deceased man on Baby's own album. Young Thug was forced to intervene to prevent an all-out war in Atlanta, but the damage to relationships and reputations was already permanent. The fact that all of them are still producing music and generating revenue despite this tragic incident demonstrates exactly how the music industry truly operates. Sometimes preserving the peace and maintaining business relationships is prioritized over achieving justice, especially when millions of dollars are involved. But the streets have an unbreakable memory, and that is why this story continues to be a major topic of discussion years later. If you have one problem, sorry for masking content. The way Baby stopped posting about Marlo and seemingly moved past seeking justice tells you everything you need to know about how industry demands can outweigh street loyalty. That is the real hidden story behind the 21 Savage and Lil Baby situation. Let me know in the comments what you think about the way this entire thing played out, and make sure you subscribe for more content breaking down the real stories behind your favorite rappers.